Good morning. This is TNN, the new news. Today is March 12th, 2019, and I'm Andrew Gaines.
I'm Alexis Friedman, and we have some new news today about Venezuela. Many events have been going on in Venezuela, such as the hostile dictator that ruled them before Juan Guaido took over. For example, after the death of Hugo Chavez, one needed to take the role of him due to the fact that he was the president. So, being the vice president at the time, Nicolas Maduro got control of the role of president and used his power to his advantage. Furthermore, many people have been in many traumatic experiences. However, as of January 23rd, 2019, Juan Guaido is the new president, even though Maduro refuses to give up his power.
Wow, this event greatly reflects Stalin's rule after the Russian Revolution in the 1930s. Stalin, just like Maduro, used propaganda to gain power over the people. He also ruled using fear. Today, we're also going to bring in a historical expert, Sam, to talk a little bit more about
Just
Stalin.
like how Maduro took over from Hugo Chavez, Joseph Stalin took over after the death of Vladimir Lenin. But unlike Maduro, who was vice president at the time and most likely to succeed him, Stalin was not. Stalin gained power through getting rid of his opposition through any means necessary. Lenin warned the people not to elect Stalin and to elect Leon Trotsky because Stalin was known as a brute. But Stalin exiled Leon Trotsky to rise to power. During Stalin's time as head of the Soviet Union, Stalin ruled through fear, just like Maduro. He got rid of any opposition through by putting them in labor camps or executing them. Stalin later came to be known as one of the evilest people in history by being responsible for the death of over 20 million people.
Of Stalin using fear to gain power of the people was the Great Purges. The Great Purges were a political movement launched by Stalin against the Communist Party. This campaign spread tremendous fear and terror throughout Russia, in which Stalin had various communist leaders executed for charges of treason. These persecutions were ultimately to get rid of Stalin's opposition, and they were actually found that all of them were innocent, but nevertheless, Stalin's main motive was to maximize his personal power, and it worked. We've been talking a lot about a couple of large-scale revolutions, but now it's time to talk about a small-scale revolution. Let's send you to Jake, a farm owner in England, to talk about this event, Animal Farm.
Hi, I'm Jake, and I own Peachwood Farm nearby Animal Farm, which is an animal-run dictatorship under the rule of Napoleon the Pig. I've heard that Snowball, a good-leading inventive pig, was exiled from the farm by Napoleon, who turned out to be a selfish and power-hungry leader. He used a persuasive pig, Squealer, to spread propaganda to take over the farm. Also, he manipulated everyone's viewpoints by making Squealer tell the animals that Napoleon is right in his exile of Snowball. He persuaded them to think that Snowball was the enemy. This exile reflects what Stalin did to Trotsky after the Russian Revolution. Stalin exiled Trotsky to gain full power over the people. Trotsky was the general of the Russian military, similar to Snowball. Also, Trotsky had many different views than Stalin. Stalin didn't want anyone opposing and challenging him for leadership, so he kicked Trotsky out of Russia. This is exactly what Napoleon did to Snowball. Later, Trotsky was forced to move to Mexico, where his family was, and eventually died from a machine gun attack.
It's crazy how the same ideas of dictatorship can be seen in many different places. Venezuela, Russia in the 1930s, and now Animal Farm. Well, thanks for watching TNN, and we'll see you tomorrow.